up, Ma? I'm with my friends.
Hi, Mrs. Krabappelwitz.
What are you doing down there that's so important?
Well, you see, let's to put it simply, Ma. It's time for Talkin' Nerdy, the nerdy talk show where I ask my guests to talk nerdy to me. Oh my, indeed. You are listening to Talkin' Nerdy, the nerdy talk show where I ask my lovely, lovely guests to talk nerdy to me. But, in a family-friendly way, because this is a family-friendly show. I am joined by DJ Orange.
Yo.
And DJ Scuddy.
Hello.
And the annoying beeping sound in the background. Yeah, you can just kind of hear it. We don't know what that is, but we work next to a machine room. And apparently that machine room has been making this noise for 3 days. And despite me insisting that it's important to fix, they don't believe me.
Why would they? You're just a talk show.
Yeah, I don't know.
And a radio station.
Yeah. No. I guess it's not important to them. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Really. It'll fix itself, right?
Either that or it'll blow up and kill us all.
Well, it sounds more like a squeaky wheel in a machine, which is equally concerning.
Yeah. Then it flies off, turns into a death frisbee, and kills us all.
Oh, yes. So, yes. Always going to kill us all. Yay!
It's the best.
No.
God, I can't contain my excitement.
Yeah?
You know why?
Why?
Because earlier this morning,
Yeah?
I got a notification
Yeah?
that something was shipped to me.
Yeah?
And it'll be here tomorrow.
Well, it'll be at your house tomorrow.
It'll be at my house tomorrow. Fire Emblem Warriors Special Edition.
Yeah?
Yes!
What is so special about the edition?
It comes with an art book, 3 CDs with the soundtrack of the game.
That's an awful lot of soundtrack.
Yeah, which is equally the soundtrack of a lot of the games which are featured in the game. Because you know the Warrior series, correct?
Yeah.
It is like the Dynasty Warriors, the Samurai Warriors. They've done all kinds of warrior games. Koei Tecmo is the company.
Hyrule Warriors.
That's what I was about to get to. Hyrule Warriors for the Wii U and later the 3DS. And now Fire Emblem Warriors, which will be on the Switch and the 3DS. And I'm getting the Switch version. It's so cool. so cool. So excited. Like, I'm going to be lost to the world tomorrow. As soon as I get my game, I'll just be like, gone.
So gone.
So gone. And it'll be great. And they put out the launch trailer yesterday, I believe.
Yep.
It is so cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, so unlike a traditional Warriors game, there's like also a Fire Emblem aspect to it, which has been announced in a previous video, not this particular launch video.
Yeah,
but
this should be fun.
You can control more than one hero at a time and have them, similarly to Fire Emblem, follow a path and like do unit things. And it's so cool.
So it's become more of an RTS.
Well, that's what
that's what Fire Emblem is.
RTS. Fire Emblem has always been an RPG RTS. It's always been that strategy slash RPG element.
Okay.
But it's gotten the Warriors games are all just straight up action. It's like endless. What do they call it? Endless enemy.
Endless
style?
enemy.
Yeah, endless enemy action.
You versus the 1,000 enemies.
Yeah, you versus the hordes.
That was my favorite part in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Well, it's similar to that, except you have to capture points and take out other heroes, the enemy heroes. So it's really, really cool. And I'm super excited for it.
That's a lot of super.
Yes. You can almost say it's phenomenally super. I realized last week that I went the entire episode without saying phenomenal once.
It was very disappointing.
It was not phenomenal.
And I am ashamed of you.
I am ashamed of me too. If you're ashamed of me, let me know in the chat on YouTube or by tweeting at me at DJ Frost WLMC. I deserve it, really. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to open up the floor, not just to you guys, but to the YouTube chat. And to also people tweeting me on social media and messaging me on Facebook at DJ Frosted WLMC. I want to get you guys involved, the listeners, and I want you all to let me know what we should talk about because you know us, we're nerds in a basement talking shop. We could do this forever.
Pretty much.
We want to know what you all think and what you all want to talk about. Therefore, tell us what you want, what you really, really want.
Please do not finish that.
ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. That's a different song.
That is so a different song. I don't know. I should look at the lyrics to that song. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I'll tell you what I want.
Ah, such 90s.
Yeah, 90s.
I've received word of a 90s party happening tomorrow. At
Yeah,
some point.
it's going to be embarrassing. The only draw about it is free Chinese food.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it was, if it was on the flyer, I didn't see it, but now I'm definitely going to be there.
Yeah, I actually
I
questioned.
don't think they put it on the flyer. They did put it on the campus feed.
Yeah, they did. I don't know. It was kind of like one of those hidden secrets, I guess.
Ah, I love those.
Yeah.
Usually they're hidden behind a not so obvious wall, though.
Right.
And you need a special move that you have to backtrack for.
Or, well, that, like, if you're playing a Metroid game, yeah, you need to backtrack for all these things. If you're playing a Legend of Zelda game, whack the wall with your sword. If it makes a different sound, it's a secret wall.
Yeah, but then if you don't have the bombs yet, then it doesn't matter.
No.
You still have to backtrack.
There's no backtracking in Zelda. It's all going forward.
There's plenty of backtracking. Like a lot of
the original game was backtrack.
That's fair. I meant like by progressing through the storyline, you will eventually end up back at the place you need to go.
Yeah,
So.
fair enough. But
Oh.
like you still have to go. I'm like the only thing in my head during that is like Legend of Zelda. Like you go past plenty of walls that you can blow up when you first go to the
Right.
I want to call it Mount Doom. It's Death Mountain.
Death Mountain.
And-
Mount Doom is something else.
Yes.
It's,
Unless you're taking rings, you don't need to go to Mount Doom.
nah. But like, so you go past walls on your way up Death Mountain, and you
Yep.
don't have. And the first time you go past them, you don't have bombs, so you do have to backtrack a little bit.
Okay. Guys,
Yeah,
I just found a tweet from Sentai Filmworks.
yeah,
There's going to be a cast list for the dub of Squid Girl.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know they were dubbing Squid Girl, but they're dubbing Squid Girl, guys!
What is Squid Girl?
What? You've never watched Squid Girl?
No,
It's only the most squidly adorable anime.
I don't
that.
really. I'm not really into the squee type anime.
It's a comedy. It's just absolutely hilarious.
It's pure comedy.
It's pure comedy. It's about a squid who transforms into a girl because all squids can do this, obviously.
You're a squid now. You're a kid now.
This was before Splatoon.
This was
so like this is original Squid Kid, and she comes up and like tries to take over the world because they're polluting the oceans, and only makes it as far as the beach when she accidentally puts a hole in a house and then has to pay off the hole in the house.
Oh,
And she just starts living life on the shore with the people whose it wasn't a house, so to speak. It was a beach restaurant.
so it's like a cross between that one food anime that you mentioned with the fantasy characters and Octodad.
I can think of weirder animes.
No. It's just she's the only thing that's off. Like that's the funniest thing.
But yeah, but does she have to like put on the act like an Octodad and nobody really figures out like
No. She straight up says I'm a squid.
oh
She's like I am a squid, and she loves shrimp.
well of course she
that's,
does.
no, that's one of the the plot devices they use all the time is shrimp.
Yeah.
I really recommend this anime. It's just the cutest thing on the planet, and it's hilarious. And you learn to talk squidly well.
Squidly well.
They make all of the squid puns. It's amazing.
Squiddins.
Yes. Yes, they do.
How many puns?
You don't want to ask that question.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a really cringy joke there.
By the way, the YouTube chat agrees with both of you. It reads, "We are disappointed in your phenomenal-less show. I am sorry. I've already paid penitence.
Have you?
I have.
I haven't seen it.
That's something you do on your own time, especially since I'm the one who did it in the first place."
Yeah, no, there's supposed to be witnesses to that sort of
We
thing.
don't have a wheel of misfortune.
We don't have a wheel of misfortune.
We need to make one.
All right. Here's the thing. If you make a wheel of misfortune, we will make a wheel of misfortune. We will do this at some point, but we need to know what to put on it.
All right, and
So this is where, again, our lovely listeners come in. The millions of ways to contact me or us, send it to us, and we will put together a phenomenal wheel of misfortune so that my less phenomenal things I'll pay penitence for it again.
Special note though, it can't involve food or drink of any sort.
Yeah, no. Then I'll have to punish whoever brings it in.
Yeah, we don't want to punish other people. Just ourselves.
Just me. Really, it's just me at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys have earned the ire of not saying phenomenal a bunch because you guys don't have to.
You put that on yourself, though, dude.
Yeah, you put it on yourself.
Well, this one's for you, Scotty. Eat a magic bean from a bean dealer's magic sack. That is what the penalty.
Yep, that definitely sounds like my bean dealer.
Wow. Thank you, oh mysterious bean dealer. We will take that into consideration.
Those magic beans will do things.
Oh, dude.
And when I say do things, I mean they turn you into whatever they taste like.
So
I didn't know that cars had a flavor. Then they did.
Well, I imagine they taste like oil and gas.
Yeah.
And a little bit of metal.
It wasn't a monster truck though. That would have had more diesel.
That would have been a lot of diesel.
It was a very boring car.
No.
So just like an old sedan.
It wasn't an old sedan. It wasn't even a sedan.
Oh, no.
It was just a perfectly safe, normal car that you don't really think about.
Fair enough.
You mean like a hatchback?
No. Anyway, turning into cars aside, I'm just going to scan through the Anime News Network, and the first thing that catches my eye is Pokemon Go. You remember that game? Still around.
Yeah.
Still played. Two things about it. One, they are adding all the ghost types from Gen 3 into the game soon.
Oh, I miss me my Dusclops.
Actually, Friday. So tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then in December, we're getting the rest of the Gen 3 Pokemon. Phenomenal news for those who still play Pokemon Go. Also, there's going to be a Pikachu in a witch's hat. Looks pretty adorable.
Yeah.
So
Pikachu doing anything is adorable.
Basically, the only times I play Pokemon Go is to get the special Pikachus.
I could see an army of them.
Okay, actually, I can only think of one instance I've ever seen where Pikachu wasn't adorable and was in fact horrifying.
Oh?
Well, it was at a Toys R Us, and it was a Lego Pikachu, and it was kind of horrifying because the Pikachu had Lego hands.
That is horrifying. Who would do such a thing? Lego.
Like the rest of the Pikachu was completely normal, but
the hands.
But no, the arms were also long with the hands.
Oh.
I don't know if it was Lego or Playmobil or what.
It was probably off-brand Lego.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
But it was just super disorienting. It caused a dysfunction in my brain.
Anything off-brand would probably be Electric Mouse.
Ah.
So you mean Dedenne?
A Dedenne, yeah. I love Dedenne. It's a fairy electric type. They're adorable.
Yeah, but it's still off-brand Pikachu.
No, it's still on brand because it's Pokemon Company.
Yeah, but it was trying to be Pikachu and it didn't work.
They always do this. Actually, Dedenne would be a perfect Pokemon for us. It is a radio Pokemon.
True enough.
Is it not? I mean, it's got an antenna. Yeah, they're all a little different. Pachirisu is one of my favorite quote-unquote off-brands.
Yeah.
Because squirrel. It needs no other explanation. Yeah. Just squirrel.
Yeah. So I guess in that vein of things, what is your favorite off-brand Pokemon? You've already said it was Pachirisu.
I mean, off-brand Pikachu, but there's no off-brand. For me, it's all Pokemon's a Pokemon. It's a Pokemon. Is a Pokemon. Is a Pokemon. Is a Pokemon.
Well, yeah, but I mean, a lot of
now you got him into a rant.
But yeah, but I mean, when X and Y came out, they essentially were trying to redo the original 150.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
They were going in a new direction. They always have to do something that seems like something else because of how things are. When you go to a new region, you got to imagine the flora and fauna are different.
Yeah, I know. But usually in the past, the most they've really done is add on to previous.
Kind of. I mean, with the Mega Evolutions, you mean?
No, not with Mega Evolutions. You start off with the original 150, 151.
Yeah.
And then Johto happens, and then that's just plus 100.
Ish, yeah.
And they the Pokemon from Kanto were still there.
Sure.
But they just Like, they're still here, and they're the baseline, but here's also others.
Well, the same thing happened with Hoenn and Sinnoh. The only time they didn't do that was with Unova, which was 5th generation.
Yeah,
and that went over mildly well. I mean, it was a good game. Don't get me wrong. I love all the Pokemon games.
It was around then when they decided, you know what, we'll start off with all of the new ones, and you won't get any of the previous stuff later.
Later in the game. They went back to, you can have the old ones in 6th generation with X and Y, and they took it even a step further with 7th generation.
Alola forms.
Yeah, well, the Alola forms are different variations, which makes sense when you think about it, of the original 151. Not all of them, of course, but things that, they turned Vulpix into Ice type because the Vulpix of old moved up into the mountains and didn't need their fire typing. No, they needed to adapt to become Ice types.
And Sandshrew, which is now
an
Ice Steel.
Well, no, Sandslash is Ice Steel. Sandshrew is still Ice.
Yeah.
So I think they really enjoyed that. And Executor, this is what they say, and this is actually canon. The Executors in Alola are what Executor is supposed to be like. The ones in Kanto are shorter because they didn't have enough sunlight to grow properly. So yeah, that's really, the whole thing about Executor is, why does it evolve from an egg? You get a tree from an egg. Think about that.
Well, like his eggs are supposed to be coconuts. I don't know.
No. Execute is definitely an egg.
Yeah.
Executor is
a coconut tree.
Is a palm tree. Yep.
Which is a grass type.
A grass psychic in Kanto and everywhere but Alola, and grass dragon in Alola, which I think is really cool. I love the dragon type and I love the grass type, so I'm glad they got together. Makes me happy. Just like Mega Sceptile was grass dragon. Also really cool. Because Sceptile was the only 3rd generation starter not to get a second type.
Yeah.
I mean, Torchic eventually became firefighting with Blaziken. Mudkip became water ground, starting with Marshtomp.
Yeah.
And Trico just stayed grass through to Sceptile.
Yep.
And adding the dragon type was actually really, really smart, because it makes sense for the for Sceptile.
Yep.
Okay, I found the thing that I was looking for, like, because when I say like off-brand, like this is the new Pikachu, this is the new Squirtle, and like the real example I was looking for was Ruggenrola is the new Geodude.
That was 5th gen.
Yeah, I know. I screwed up. So
no, but yeah, no, they did that whole. There's similarities, of course.
But in that vein, what is your favorite off-brand of original?
I just can't say, because I can't see them as off-brand.
No,
that's where I'm having trouble. It's not that you're wrong. It's just I can't see it that way. But I'm also it's
not really
off-brand.
They would like to call clones.
They're not even clones. They're just different Pokemon. They have different movesets, different looks, different evolutions, different styles of play, even different stats, I believe.
Yep.
Different styles. But I understand where you're going for. Like, Roggenrola, Boldore, and Gigalith were very, very similar to Geodude, Graveler, and Golem. Although I don't think Roggenrola had a ground typing with it.
Yeah, and Timber was the new
Machop.
New Machop.
Timber, Girder, and Conkeldurr.
And Timepole was the new Poliwag.
Yeah, kinda.
No,
they go to water ground type. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like essentially
I'd say that Timpole's closer to Wooper than anything else.
Yeah, but they're both like literally supposed to be the
there was another
evolution of
frog
frogs.
one.
Yeah.
The frog poison one.
No, he's not poison type. Not Seismitoad. Seismitoad is water ground with an ability that poison touch, which can poison things if you touch it. Yeah, no, they went from frogs to actual toads. So, I mean, they're slightly different.
I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I see what you're saying.
And then just straight up Frillish and Jellicent is the new Tentacool.
The one thing we can...
Those are very different in my opinion.
But they're both jellyfish.
Yeah, well, that's like saying, both Pidgey and Spearow are both birds,
One thing we can agree on is definitely they ran out of ideas because they started using common elements.
I kind of like that in some ways. I mean, I will always gripe about Vanillish. Vanillish.
Yeah, I don't like that one
Vanillux. It's an ice cream cone. I get it. It's cute. And I really do like ice types.
It's a sentient ice cream cone.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
That brings out all kinds of like I guess, philosophical debates on whether it's okay. Like, it brings up the can you eat the Pokemon again when it's literally ice cream?
So here's what I'm going to say about that. In the games, there is definite eating of Pokemon. If not by humans, by other Pokemon.
Yeah, that has been established since day one.
Since day one. They don't talk about that in the anime because it's a kid's show. Like, yeah, you don't... Actually, I don't know. I think they did in the anime.
Japanese.
Yeah, like season 1.
Yeah, in season 1. They haven't done it since.
Yep.
And it was also firmly established in several comics as well.
Right. It's, it's a thing that happens. It's the darker side of the game. But again, you don't focus on that because that's not what they want you to focus on.
It's not like the creepy side of the game.
No. There are some darker sides. I mean, we've read some of the Pokedex entries on the show before. They can get very, very dark.
I think it's I think it's interesting to look into this stuff like that because it helps build the world. And
absolutely.
And one of the most important things to understand about any world that you're trying to build is what happens when things die.
Exactly. It's very heavily implied that in a Pokemon battle, you don't fight to the death. It's fighting till fainting. There's a reason for that. Like, they just knock each other out, basically.
Yeah.
With no ill harms, because medicine in the Pokemon world is friggin' phenomenal. Like, seriously phenomenal.
And it's relatively cheap as well.
It's free for Pokemon.
Well, for the Pokemon, yes. For the trainers, not so much.
I think actually healthcare might be free for trainers too. There's in the newest Sun and Moon anime, like
I was talking about like potions and field medicine.
They don't really talk about that much,
no, like because obviously the Pokemon centers are free.
Yes.
What are they going to do? Just say no?
No. It's not really money is one of those things they don't really discuss much in the anime at all, except when Team Rocket is griping about how much they don't have.
Yeah.
So like it's assumed, I'm sure Ash gets some money from his mom to help pay for like everything he needs on the road. And
maybe they do that thing where they exchange money after a win.
I don't think so. I think that's a mechanic for the game because that's convenient. I think in the anime it's just people battle for fun. That's why they do it.
I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it's assumed that the governments are a lot better off and that they have all the social programs in place. And if you look, the Pokemon world is a very, very peaceful place.
Yeah,
their major issues are criminal organizations
that want to conquer the world.
And they're usually led by madmen.
Yeah.
And Giovanni.
Giovanni was just a straight up mobster, though.
He's still in it. Like, Team Rocket hasn't been disbanded. The only teams that have been disbanded are everything but Team Rocket.
Team Rocket's never going to go away, is it?
Well, that's because they're the entire joke. They are the comic relief of the entire anime.
Yeah. I kind of remember in episode 1 when they were... It wasn't episode 1.
No, it was like 2 or 3.
It was definitely episode 2 at the very least. Where they
in the Viridian Pokemon Center?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was like the only time they were a real threat.
They were competent that time. Actually, in Unova, they got pretty competent.
Yeah.
But they were so focused on taking out Team Plasma at the same time that it didn't come up with Ash all that much. Like, sure, they had their battles, but they were actually really competent. James is apparently like a techno wizard now. Like, he's really good at technology. He can hack pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Another thing that, like, the anime seemed to completely gloss over was the existence of the gambling centers.
They touch on them
the
in
game
certain
corners.
They do and they don't. Like, it's not a kid-friendly thing.
Well, no, but then...
Yeah.
I mean, geez.
I mean, you're not going to put gambling in a kid's show. It's not going to happen. Like, you got to remember, this is for, like, not us. It's not intended for people our age to be listening, or watching. Wow, I've been on radio too long.
But this is the reason I bring this up is for a not completely not subtle at all segue.
Oh, into
the thing that I had mentioned earlier.
Oh, you mean London outlawing loot crates?
Yeah, there's a petition.
The gambling thing, sure.
There's a petition going out in the UK right now to include video games that have loot crates or loot boxes in their mechanics under their gambling laws. You know what? I think that's fair. Frankly, it is gambling. It really is. I mean, you're not gambling for real money, but you are gambling for a theoretical or digital product. Yeah.
That means all things that are going overseas will have the AU on it.
Yeah.
And for games like
You mean AO for adults only?
Yeah.
yeah, and for games like Overwatch and TF2 and well, literally anything that has any sort of loot box system.
Yep.
There's kids playing these games.
And they use their mommy and daddy's credit cards to rack up one heck of a bill.
Yeah, there's been plenty of news articles about those already.
Yeah. I mean, Steam has the forgiveness return policy thing? Like, if your kid spends your money, you can tell them not to, and it takes it all away.
Yeah.
But you can only do that a certain amount of times.
Yeah, but so, like, I guess what I'm trying to get at is just because the show is just because one show is trying to avoid showing that side of things to kids, they're being exposed to it anyway.
Yes and no. I mean, your 7-year-old isn't going to be playing your Shadow of War, your Overwatch.
Well,
Actually, they do.
Yeah, they are.
They are, but that's not the developer's fault. That is squarely on the parents.
It really is.
Yeah,
it
the
is.
demographic of games, like something like Pokemon, college kids play it.
I mean,
But
there's ratings on games for a reason.
Yeah.
There is no, yes, there's ratings on TV, but you can't accidentally scroll through your TV and find Shadow of War to play. You have to go out and somebody has to purchase it.
Yeah, but I understand that, and you're not supposed to do that.
But they do it anyways.
But people do it anyway.
I know.
And honestly, I think these companies should take that into consideration, that people don't heed these.
Oh, I know. I mean, I used to work at one of the bigger video game retailers.
So you probably saw it.
Oh, my God. The amount of parents who came in and bought their kid GTA 5... I got a kick out of telling them exactly what was in the game. And my favorite days are when they totally took the game, put it back on the shelf and said, "You lied to me," to their kid. And it was hilarious.
That
it
happened.
Made me so happy when that happened.
Oh, the Schadenfreude is real.
Oh, the Schadenfreude is so real. By the way, Schadenfreude means taking pleasure in other people's pain. Kind of. It's a German word.
That's literally what it means.
But it doesn't translate properly into English. But
things very rarely, specific words like that don't translate well.
We basically just adopted the word Schadenfreude. And it's true, but at the same time, it's a satisfaction. I prevented a kid from playing a game where there are straight up whorehouses.
Yeah.
Just straight up.
You literally murder people, take their money, and torture them in your garage.
Pretty much, and it's not cool.
No, it's not.
And the game company doesn't care because they're getting money.
Nope. What do they care? I mean, GTA 5 Online, what do they care? They're making millions off of Shark Bucks, whatever they call them.
Shark Bucks?
Yeah, they're called Shark Bucks or Shark Card that gives you in-game money. I don't know what they're called. I know they're called Shark Cards, but I don't know what the in-game currency is. I think it just might be dollars.
Yeah, it is bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my thing on it. And there was this one time this kid came in and they bought a Game Boy Advance or a Game Boy or a Nintendo DS, the old one with the Game Boy Advance slot. And they saw, I don't know why we still had Game Boy Advance games, but they saw Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto for the DS
that would have been, I believe,
Chinatown or something like that.
Or Ballad of Gay Tony?
Yeah, I don't know. Something like that we had a bunch of copies. Well, we said we can't sell it to you without your parent being here. And they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll go get them. But wait, our parents aren't here. Is the counselor okay?" "No, you still need your parent or guardian."
Yeah.
"Oh, okay." They left. We pulled them off the shelf immediately. We hid them. And then they came back, they sent somebody in, and they're standing in the doorway. So, we see them. They're not being subtle. And their counselor comes in and is like, "Hey, do you have a copy of Grand Theft Auto for the DS?" And we're like, "No, actually, we just sold them all." "Oh, okay." And then the kid comes running in. "What? They were here. You had 4 copies." I'm like, "They're gone."
That's a beautiful thing.
Oh my God. My boss was behind it too. She was like, "I am not selling this kid that. There's no way." My boss she was a mom too. So she understood. She's like, "I am not having a kid buy this." That is
the ratings exist for a reason.
Pretty much. And you can actually get fired for selling an underage kid a game.
That they should not have.
Pretty much.
Yep. It's because of the lovely laws that happen.
Oh yeah, it's a state law too. I think it might be a federal law.
No, it's because
It's like anything that involves ratings of that sort usually falls under federal,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, what's funny, the ESRB is not a government company. It is an independent retailer.
Really?
It is an independent company.
it happened because of Mad Mothers.
Yeah, it's the game industry's self-regulation.
Yeah, I think it like the big reason behind that was the existence of the first Mortal Kombat way back when.
Maybe, but
It was
like
one-
even back then they were still
yeah, but I know that when the first Mortal Kombat came out, it was like one of the primary driving forces.
No,
it was.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah.
That game was so cartoony
most
bloody.
of it was because of the video game violence that happened.
Right.
The
well,
Switch.
A lot of people, and this is a point that I like to make. Video games do not cause you to be more aggressive. I don't care. Like, all the studies kind of agree. If you are an aggressive person, it will bring out your aggressiveness. You will become more aggressive, but it doesn't cause innate aggressiveness in somebody who isn't. So, like, little old me who barely gets mad at anything, like, if I play a shooter game, I'm going to get frustrated at the game maybe because I'm really awful at FPS games.
Oh yeah.
But, like, I'm not going to go out and, like, emulate that. That's stupid.
Yeah, most people who play it, if they get mad, their anger is very directly channeled at the thing that is causing the anger.
Pretty much. So, I mean, that's just something that I need to say because that was a big thing in the 80s, 90s, and thousands, and it's still a big thing.
Yes, it is.
But, yeah, that's just something to point out. But, yeah, no. I think we started off with gambling somehow, and we ended up at bloody murder.
It started with gambling, turned into bloody murder, and
It kind of relates.
I mean, why not?
And so if I may insert another complete segue that has only very mild relevance.
Before you do, what do you think about mobile games and microtransactions?
Microtransactions of any sort are inherently cancerous, I think.
A little bit, but
It's
if
called
you think
freeware for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's called, I believe the term that has been coined as of late is fee to pay.
Yes. Instead of F2P, which is free to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still F2P.
Yeah. It's still, like, that's the thing. Like, the games that at least I know Orange and I play, like Fire Emblem Heroes, you don't have to pay.
No, you don't.
It's, in fact, completely optional.
Yeah. In most of these games, it's completely optional.
But
if you want to make, quote unquote, real progress, then money will have to be spent at some point.
Chad is weighing in, and they made the very valid point that Dungeons and Dragons had a bad rep in the 80s because, oh my God, they're fighting all these things. They must be terrible people.
Oh, and their rule books have like pentagrams on them and demons.
Oh yeah, terrible. Arr.
Yeah.
And you're like,
and then
stop, just stop that.
The Mazes and Monsters movie happened.
Oh my God, yeah.
And that's its own thing. That's hilarious.
It's hilariously bad.
Would you consider it a so bad it's good movie?
Yes, I would.
I can think of one that will drive anybody insane.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Food fight.
That's not it. That's just so bad that it's
bad.
It makes you throw up.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. It's really.
That's
really
why
bad.
I said it'll drive you insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, that's not the segue that I had wanted, but this is also a nice thing. So bad it's good movies.
We could talk about that, but I'm interested to hear what you were saying because, frankly, movies that are so bad it's good usually aren't appropriate to talk about because because of reasons.
Well, I can think of one that it actually wasn't that bad. It was, those cheesy movies that they clearly don't take themselves seriously, but it's like those B horror movies with some kind of monster that they just kind of made
B
up.
horror movies are purposely bad, and that's why they're good.
Yeah.
That's the point of a B horror movie.
Yeah. But one that I've seen fairly recently, it turned out to be one of the best diamonds in the rough I've seen as of late.
Oh?
It's called Stung.
Stung. I'll have to keep that in mind for when I need to itch that horror genre.
Yeah, it's about mutated
Wasps.
Mutated wasps. I was trying to figure out if they were bees or wasps, but they're definitely wasps.
Probably wasps.
Because they because their nests were out of paper.
Yeah,
so.
it's like the Sci-Fi Channel original movie, Killer Bees.
Sci-fi, by the way, is just total garbage. Total garbage movies that are like have cult followings for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But it still has a few decent shows.
Occasionally. I mean, really occasionally.
But the thing that really gets me about Stung is like they really brush this under the rug is how the mutant hornets happened. Is I guess they had some kind of growth hormone that they mixed in with their plant fertilizer because the old lady character had a magnificent greenhouse. So she used that on her plants, and her plants did really well. But you know, dirt kind of gets everywhere. So it got into the ground outside of the greenhouse and into a hornet nest.
Oh, no.
So growth hormone fertilizer is why there are mutant wasps.
No, thank you.
Oh, wow.
It's like spiders all over again.
Yes, spiders?
Yeah, there's a movie called Spiders that I think where an asteroid had mutated the spiders into giant things.
Ew.
Spiders? No, that's the worst way to die.
That
spider.
Yeah, I imagine.
I think it's also called Arachnid. Yeah, that was no.
Yeah, anything involving a spider, but my original segue
back to that all that time ago.
Had to do with, since we were talking about death and destruction, and another synonymous word is visceral. There is a video game studio called Visceral, or should I say, there was a video game studio called
EA
Visceral.
nailed it into another coffin.
Oh no, what happened?
EA killed them.
Why?
Because I have a quote right here. Our Visceral studio has been developing an action-adventure title set in the Star Wars universe. In its current form, it was shaping up to be a story-based linear adventure game. And throughout the process, we have been testing the concept with players and listening to feedback, and I guess it was negative. I'm paraphrasing now, but I believe the direct quote here is, "It has become clear that to deliver an experience that players will want to come and back to and enjoy for a long term to come, we need to pivot the design." And part of the pivot was eliminating yet another
EA is
studio.
It's kind of a floundering company at this point.
A little bit.
They're going the way of Konami.
And for the record, Visceral Studios is the company that brought you the Dead Space games.
Oh, those are great games, though.
Yes.
You know what? EA, just flounder yourself into a hole, because, like, just stop.
You mean like how they're going away, like the way like Konami?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Although Konami can still potentially put out a really good game.
No.
Potentially.
Potentially, but no.
I just don't see EA having that potential anymore.
Nah.
I mean they're
EA
the ones...
was the one. EA, I believe, was it EA or somebody else? I'm trying to remember. Was behind the nonsense in one of the Assassin's Creed games? Not Origins, but
yeah.
Like with the outrageous number of bugs. That was EA's fault, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was, I think 3?
No, it was Ubisoft. That was Ubisoft.
Right.
But EA is scum of the week this week.
Ubisoft has redeemed themselves because they made it up with fixing everything.
With what? Specifically?
Assassin's Origin.
Oh, yeah.
Origins has been getting some good reviews, I think.
I mean, it's until they prove it, until they make a game as good as Black Flag.
Oh, that was a good one.
They have to prove themselves.
Yeah.
Because everything since Black Flag has been utter garbage.
Yeah, Syndicate was not that great.
Syndicate I had such high hopes for, too.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Syndicate. It was one before that, I think. Or maybe it was Syndicate with the freaky faces that weren't finished.
Yeah. And
that
also
was
glitching
Unity,
into a wall and never coming out.
That was Unity, I believe. And Unity was just garbage.
That
Syndicate was better, but not much.
Mm.
And they screwed up the whole overarching story, too. I won't get into it because spoilers, but they really, really screwed the pooch on that kind of thing.
But you could spoil Black Flag now.
Yeah, honestly, I gave up. I pretty much gave up on Assassin's Creed as a series after after Ezio stopped happening.
Yeah.
No, Black Flag is good though.
Yeah, I did get Black Flag. I haven't played it yet, but I did get it on account of everybody raving on it.
Black Flag is great. I mean, you're a pirate assassin. Like, come on.
Like, why wouldn't you want that? They took apparently the one good thing from Assassin's Creed 3 and made the entire game centered around that.
Pretty much.
And you get all the pirate shanties. Who doesn't love pirate shanties?
What do you do with a drunken sailor?
Early in the morning. That song is great because it goes on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Well, you know the original purpose of sea shanties, correct?
It was work songs.
Yeah, they were work songs. Basically, you get better production and less exhaustion by singing your work song and working to a rhythm.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. And it really, a lot of the times when old ships, before we had tugboats, you had to attach a line and on shore you winched them in. So they would have these crews and they would sing their shanties and their work songs and pull them in. And it really increased the productivity and made it a viable way. I don't know why we don't do that anymore. I think it'd be a good thing to do.
Yeah,
It'd make people happier.
Yeah, because manual labor is decreased significantly.
Yes.
In a lot of fields.
In a lot of fields, yeah.
Not all fields. Hashtag not all fields.
Yeah, no.
Fair enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I just, there's some things that we're losing touch with that I don't think we really should.
Yeah.
And when I really love it when games sort of take these older style things that a lot of people don't know about and incorporate them.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
And
that's what made me happy about Black Flag. I mean, the gameplay was great. The story was great. Riding my own pirate ship was amazing.
Building your pirate empire is
pretty
amazing.
much.
Like any game that manages to include some kind of history lesson or something that actually
historical fiction.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's historical fiction, but there is base in fact.
Yeah.
So that's super neat.
Yeah.
It's super neat. Any game that can work in some kind of educational angle.
It makes me happy.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with me in anime. If they can work in some actual facts, like I watched one which was about astronomy. Like there was the whole, the undertones of it was all about astronomy. And you learned a bunch of cool things about astronomy. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. The show sucked, but oh my God.
Is that the one?
What was the show?
It's not new. It's 5-6 years old now. I can't remember the name of it.
There's a new one that's also astronomical, and it's about the zodiacs.
That's not even close to scientific and awesome. That's Zodiac.
Are you talking about Knights of the Zodiac?
No, I don't know.
No, there's a new one. It's weird.
Because Knights of the Zodiac was all right.
I think it was a poorly executed romantic comedy. Basically, it didn't end because maybe they thought they were going to get a second season, but they didn't.
Oh,
that happens a lot with old animes.
Well, a lot of times if the show doesn't do well enough, they don't do a second season, despite there being more to the story, because they will just go through the novels or the manga or whatever the source material is, and do it in order because that's how you do a story. And if they don't get to a point where you could kind of conclude it, then it just gets this horrible cliffhanger ending with nothing really satisfied. Yeah, it happens too often.
Ew.
But
happens to a lot of animes in the 80s.
I mean, you got to understand, though, if it's not worth their time and money, they can't really put more into it.
It's fair enough, I suppose.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that are time and money.
Time and money.
IGN believes that Humble Bundle is worth their time and money.
Did they really? They bought it?
They bought Humble Bundle.
Wow.
I'm looking at the article on Polygon right now.
Yeah, I've never liked Humble Bundle.
Well, why not?
I just think it's sketchy.
What do you mean? How sketchy in what way, though?
You're getting all these games for ridiculously low prices. Who would allow their game to be on that?
Well, the premise of it being is you can choose your price.
Right.
And of that price that you do pay, you can determine how much goes to the developer and how much goes to charity.
Right.
So a lot of the money, they make an awful lot of money this way, and a lot of it has gone to charity.
Right. That's what they say, and I get really suspicious of things like that.
It's proven that it's gone to charity.
Well, that's good at the very least, but I don't know.
You're talking about the early days where they were kind of sketchy.
Yeah, but they've changed since then.
Sure, but now IGN has a hold of it, and IGN is kind of sketchy.
Well, yeah, IGN is definitely sketchy.
They favor one console, and that's it.
Yeah. Like, if you can't... Like, conflict of interest to the max here.
Yeah, because IGN is asking them to publish games, and then IGN also does the reviews of those games.
So, hey, look at this amazing 5-star game we just talked about. Oh my god, and guess what? It's part of this Humble Bundle.
Along with this other thing that is also 5 stars.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I don't like IGN as a rating system anyway. I disregard everything they put out.
Yeah, most mainstream reviews are best ignored anyhow.
Yeah, I always go to the Metacritic and then look at both sides, just the professional reviewers and the fan reviews, because you're gonna get a good mix that way.
Yeah, well, that's just
more accurate.
Yeah, it's more accurate.
Well, that's just kind of a good policy to look at when trying to consume any sort of media.
Exactly.
Personally, what I would do is look specifically at the negative reviews first.
And see why.
Yeah.
Because there is such a thing as review bombing.
Yeah.
And Steam doesn't know how to fix it.
No.
They've tried a few things, but there's nothing they really can do.
No, they can't.
Nah, not unless they start putting out like actual manual people who are sitting and looking at these things.
But you can't. There's not enough time in the day for somebody to look at all the games that are getting reviewed.
Well, that's why you don't have just one person doing it.
But
yes.
the amount of manpower that would require is not worth their time.
It's fair enough.
It's like putting everybody with the computer in the Mall of America doing reviews.
Well, what they should do is look for things that are suddenly getting a huge amount of bad reviews, and then put a stop on reviews on that title until they can figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And didn't some game just get really review bombed? Oh yeah, PUBG, I think.
Yeah.
Because of a little bit of lag in China.
Those commercials that were put in the game, remember?
Oh yes, yeah.
They put in commercials for
and
everybody's
moved over to Fortnite.
Kind of. PUBG is still really popular.
Yeah.
And the constant legal battles between them is just ever increasing at this point.
Yeah.
It's becoming a warful zone.
I kind of have to say, Fortnite is an actual full game, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
So if anybody's kind of going to get shafted here, it's PUBG, because they're in alpha.
Yeah.
So anything they do now, if it's remotely anything like Fortnite, I mean, what's the game that's out fully and released?
And has a more engaging art style.
It does. And you can, I think, build in the game.
Yeah, you can. You build your own. You can literally break down anything in the environment.
And rebuild it as a fort.
See, as I said, if I didn't suck at FPSs, I would totally play this game.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Fortnite's 3PS. It's third-person shooter, I think.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's over-the-shoulder type. So that's really cool, too.
Like Resident Evil 4 style.
Yeah.
Only a little further back.
Yeah. I'd say sort of like Space Marine for Steam.
Yeah,
the game Space Marine.
That sounds right.
That game was so good, by the way, Space Marine. Unfortunately, they didn't make the rest of the series because they went belly up. But that game was so good, just so short.
And Fortnite has the same mechanics as the Minecraft UGN. Because it shrinks.
Yeah, well, that's just kind of a thing, but that has nothing to do with what I was talking about.
It's a mechanic of the game. It's meant to force people to engage as time goes on. Right.
I mean, and that's a very smart mechanic. It gets everybody, like, there's no spawn campers. You can't camp the spawn because the spawn isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
There is no spawn. You all drop in or get beamed in or whatever.
Yeah.
And you have to go towards the rally point.
Drop in through a hot air balloon lifted bus.
Yes. See, that's just even better than a friggin' airplane. I'm sorry.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
How about the Switch?
Speaking of PUBG, apparently there's a new trend that kind of... it doesn't really make sense to me.
Oh?
Like, you know what ASMR videos are, yeah?
Yeah.
ASMR.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's becoming a thing to play PUBG in an ASMR way. try to do ASMR while playing PUBG.
Is that
The memes got
possible?
weird.
Apparently it is.
You know, I'm not knocking it, but I'm kind of knocking it.
Because, like, it just...
No.
Just imagine that you are talking like this while playing an intense, high-octane experience.
Winner, chicken dinner.
There are people shooting at you from about 20 different directions. You're hiding behind a trash can that really only covers 20% of what should be covered.
Yeah, but yet the bullets are not hitting you.
And then, out of nowhere, someone somehow spawns behind you and shoots you in the back of the head.
Don't worry, you'll respawn next match.
You're dead now, when you really shouldn't be. The guy is a filthy cheater, and you know it.
Yeah. Oh, internet, what will you think of next?
Oh, the memes are real.
Just
They kind of are.
so, Asthma during PUBG, what would be a less appropriate game to do Asthma to?
Any rage game.
Any rage game like what?
Probably a
Like-
Warriors game.
Like Cat Mario?
No, like Cuphead.
Maybe
Cuphead. Cuphead has been doing really well.
It has.
It's sold
It's
over.
such an odd game.
It's beautiful though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's just so odd.
And it's
Somebody-
rage-inducing.
Yeah, somebody that I know on Facebook has said that it's the most visually interesting game since Okami.
Really?
And I'm somewhat inclined to agree. It doesn't have the majestic beauty of Okami, but it's definitely super interesting to look at.
Really?
It also has a few hidden modes.
Yeah, because
Sure.
the entire game is hand drawn.
Yeah, that's really cool.
in the style of old Disney cartoons.
Yep. That's really, really cool. I love when they put hand-drawn art, like the Bravely series, the Bravely Default, Bravely Second. Every single background is hand-painted in watercolor and then put into the game, and then you play over the watercolor.
Yeah, but this goes beyond that. The background is done that way, but also the characters, all of the animation of everything you see
Is hand-drawn.
The enemies, the main characters, the bosses, I don't know if there's anything
They
that
went
you
the full
pick up.
mile.
Yes,
It's
literally everything
supposed to be
is
like flip
hand-drawn
motion.
animation.
Oh, so that's really cool.
Like the old style way of
Yeah,
animating.
of course.
I remember seeing advertisements, not advertisements exactly, but like videos of hints to come about like 2 years ago for this game. And only now has it come out, and I genuinely believe it would have taken at least that much time.
Easily.
It's becoming a fan favorite.
It is. It's doing really well, too, which I'm happy to see. I love when... It's an indie game, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. And it's sold like 2 million copies in the last couple of weeks alone.
I'm not surprised. Like, at all. Like, and if it decided to come to the Switch, I would probably pick up a copy.
A lot of things are coming to the Switch.
I know they are.
Yes, with a number of things coming to the Switch, it wouldn't surprise me at all if shovelware started happening on the Switch
It already
anytime
is.
soon. Really?
What, you mean like Shovel Knight?
No, I mean shovelware games.
Huh.
Like I'm talking like the amount of shovelware that happened on the Wii.
Yeah, I don't
The kind
know.
of shovelware that you find in dollar bins to this day.
I think that Nintendo's trying to limit that kind of stuff now.
And now they got a bigger selection and they're doing better than PlayStation.
Well, they were always doing better than PlayStation at this point. I've already told you this a few times, but the Switch has already outsold the PlayStation 4.
Yes,
It straight up has.
Yes, it has. But like what I'm getting at is the popularity of the Switch
Yeah.
is quite possibly going to be the reason that a bunch of shovelware gets thrust upon it.
Yeah.
Because like what I've looked up, I did a little research earlier today, and the reason there's so much shovelware for the Wii is because when the Wii was in its prime, it was the most popular selling console ever.
Yep.
So therefore, literally pretty much everybody had a copy, and that included people who had never really played games before and didn't know what a good one was. So literally anybody who had a mind to make anything, it was super cheap to develop for because because HD didn't exist.
Right. Here's the Wikipedia version of shovelware.
Yeah.
Low budget, poor quality games released in the hopes of being purchased by unsuspecting customers. I can speak sometimes. But yeah, no, it's not good.
Yeah, I'm talking about, like, for some reason, and I swear to God, this is a thing that I have seen, a Biggest Loser video game exists. Like, Duck Dynasty video games exist.
As I was saying, the Switch, the Nintendo is being a lot more careful with the Switch.
Yeah.
They are being, they've got a whole thing now, the Nindies, which are Nintendo indie games. Like, if you can sign up, I guess, or something, you can develop indie games for the Switch. And then you get vetted by Nintendo. So they're cutting back on the shovelware because of the flack they got for it.
Probably the shovelware is probably going to go to the Xbox and PlayStation.
Maybe, but no, it's going to stick to the PC. They can throw it on Steam. Steam is the new shovelware dump.
Yeah,
it basically is.
It kind of is. Like, the only other consoles I can think of off the top of my head that were mentioned in this article that had that crazy amount of shovelware exist were the PS2 and any form of the DS. Because
they've been better with the 3DS of late. There is not as much.
There's some hidden gems.
Yeah, like anything that starts with the word imagine.
Yeah, no, it's probably garbage.
It's certainly going to be garbage.
Yep. Well, like, the thing that I think is, like, if the game costs like $10, you're not getting what you're paying for. It's garbage.
Well, no, you are getting what you're paying for. You're getting a crap game.
I wouldn't pay $10 for a crap game. I'd pay like $1, if that. I wouldn't even pay it all. I wouldn't want it. So like, yeah, no, I have seen a lot less shovelware coming out for Nintendo systems.
Yeah, well,
they've been really cracking down on it, I guess.
Well, part of the thing is that the Switch, I imagine, is also a lot more difficult to develop for.
Well, even the 3DS is still, they've cracked down on it a lot.
Yeah.
They are a lot more selective with what comes out. Like the DS and the Wii, they got, not 3DS, but like the original DS and the Wii, like you were saying, low enough quality, easy enough to develop for anybody could do it. They've made it progressively harder. Yeah. I think.
Because specifically because HD is now a thing, and also because a lot of people have been cracking down on it and making fun of it.
And the companies who let that happen get flack.
Yeah.
They just do.
Yep.
Rightly so. I mean, you don't want the reputation of that system where anybody can put anything on it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, Steam has cracked down. They're
trying to.
They
got rid of Greenlight. Yes.
Yeah, and they've pretty much completely revamped it,
which is awesome. I think it's a great idea.
It's significantly more expensive to put your game on.
Yeah, basically nobody can just throw on their crappy game without having to pay for it.
Yeah, I believe like the fee to get it put on the storefront at all way back like beforehand.
What it used to be.
It used to be like about $100.
That's not bad. I mean, I put in a little bit of time for a crappy game, put it on the Steam store for $100. You'll probably sell like 7 or 8 or 900 copies of the game. And if it's like $7-8 a game or $10 a game, you've already tripled your money. Like,
yeah, so
at least,
which is why so much crap ended up being on there.
Yep, and then they just wiped it all out.
Yeah, so now they were talking about increasing the price. I believe their maximum price that they had talked about was about $1,000.
That makes
which is a bit too much, I think.
Maybe
for some developers, at least it is.
Yeah, for developers starting out, I think they might do it on a case-by-case basis.
I think they're trying to fill their shoes because of what happened with that lovely flop video game.
Which one? Which one? There's like tons of them.
The one that was supposed to be in space.
You got to be more specific.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the name of it, but it's you explore the galaxy and all that stuff that was on exclusively for the PlayStation.
No Man's Sky?
Yeah.
I mean, that was not... Steam was not responsible for that.
No, that was all PlayStation's fault.
Yeah.
Actually. They rushed it out, But also at the same time,
And also, like, the developer themselves were super shady about it.
they really were bad. Like, the game still sucks.
Yeah.
Like, apparently they just released an update maybe a month or two ago. And
Really?
it wiped out everything and changed everything. And people who had built these, like, systems together and these planets together, it's all changed and gone. And they have to live with it and move on to the next and start over.
Jesus.
I know. It's just kind of bleh.
Yeah.
I read an article, like, there was this big group of people who loved the game and had built, like, a community, like an actual community together.
Yeah?
And they had to start over. Yeah. I mean, the people who were in charge of the community were kind of excited, like, you know what, these things happen, we're going to start over, it'll be great. And it gives us a chance to do it again. But
Yeah. Like,
I would be super upset and I wouldn't play the game anymore. I'd be really, really upset with the developer for that.
yeah. I think, like, the developer, when they were questioned, like, he couldn't stop emphasizing just how big this universe was.
And then...
And emphasized
That was red flags for me.
and emphasized that it would be nigh impossible for two players to meet.
Yeah, you'll never meet anybody, which is their way of saying we're not putting in multiplayer, even though we're totally promising multiplayer.
And then I guess two players at one point did manage to meet,
But they didn't.
they couldn't see each other.
Nope, they were in the same place, on the same planet, the same coordinates, and they couldn't see each other.
They could move stuff around, and that's how they knew each other was there.
Yep,
But they couldn't really see each other.
which is a lot of BS.
And then the guy was just like, "Wow, this is incredible! Yeah,
Yeah.
Is this a bug? Is this a glitch? Is this
Yeah.
a feature? Wow, it's incredible that this happened. Are you going to try to fix it? Wow, it's incredible that this happened."
Yeah.
Let's talk about something that's not slightly depressing.
I mean, it's not depressing. I found the whole thing hilarious.
What
Like,
about the new update for the Switch?
oh. So, you know how the Switch has a capture button? You could take a screenshot, and it's really cool. It's built into the system. Now you can record, like, video of your in-play game for 4 games only. For Splatoon 2, Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8, and ARMS, you can record short segments.
When you say short segments, like
I
you're
think,
talking
like,
less
30
than a minute?
seconds.
30
Okay.
seconds.
I think you could probably go longer. I don't know the exact limitations of it. But it's 720p, 30 frames a second. It's not amazing quality, but you can post it directly to Facebook and
Social media.
Yeah, social media, Facebook or Twitter. I think it's a really cool feature. You know, I don't know why people are like bitching about it. It's
Yes,
not,
but the new update also has a hidden feature because you can use the headsets,
yeah, that wasn't a hidden feature. You can use USB headsets now, I believe.
including PlayStations.
I guess. I haven't tried it, and I might not. They also have a headphone jack in your Switch, so, like, whatever.
Eh.
But no, another really cool feature of it is you can transfer save files
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
one system
Switch-
to another.
Yeah, you can transfer your save files from one Switch to another.
Huh.
That is incredibly cool. I love that so
I'm
much.
Still waiting for that price drop. It's expensive.
It's $300. It's less than a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One.
Well, how about the Xbox X?
Oh, I don't want to go into that.
That's still a super thick chunk of change.
It is, but it's not going to drop for a couple years.
Compared to the other consoles that you'll play an arm and a leg for?
Yeah, I mean, it's worth the money if you can put the money together. I mean, I keep saying this, don't expect a price drop anytime soon. It's not going to happen. Like, you might find a bundle, which is kind of like a price drop. So, like, Super Mario Odyssey is going to come with a Switch bundle. I don't know. I think it might be a little bit more expensive than the Switch, but you're getting a $60 game with it. So you kind of gotta. That's kind of your best bet,
And it's the Mario one, which actually has the red Joy-Cons.
right? And it's a special edition Switch as well with bright red Joy-Cons. See, here's what I did. I went to a store that accepts trade-ins for stuff that isn't awful GameStop, and I traded in some stuff I was never ever going to use, and I ended up paying $60 for my Switch. And that's how you save money. By getting rid of stuff you definitely don't need anymore. And like that's how I save money on things, is I save up points, or I at this particular retailer, or I trade in things that I just don't need anymore. and don't want any more, which is very, very, very little. I collect everything. I'm a horrible, horrible collector. Just ask my wife. Yeah, she...
Don't open that can of worms.
Yeah, don't open the can of worms. Don't worry, honey. I'm only bringing home like a few things this time. Yeah, I'm going to get in trouble. It's fine.
Just a bit.
Just a little bit. But no, I also... It's good to... I guess if you... Especially with books, if you're not going to use them anymore, and if you're not going to reread them anytime soon or at all, like, trade them in. You'll save a chunk of change on whatever you're buying, and it's nice to put them in the hands for somebody else who might really want that book and get it at a cheaper price.
Fair enough. But I like all my games.
No, that's the thing. I don't trade in games, usually. Unless I bought the game and it's terrible, then I'll trade it in.
Yeah.
Or I'll return it. Oh, God.
What?
She's going to start bringing home a cat every time I bring home some sort of collectible thingy.
That seems like a fair trade to me. I don't know what your problem is.
I'm allergic to cats, and I don't want to die.
Yeah?
From not breathing. That's a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
See, this is why I said do not open the can of worms.
Then it'll be something smaller and cuter, like a sugar glider or a ferret.
Ferrets are total dicks.
Ferrets are adorable.
They're adorable, but they're dicks.
They're not, only if you're mean to them.
No.
As long as it's not a trash kitty.
You mean a raccoon?
You mean a trash panda. Trash panda is the thing.
Or a polecat. Nobody wants that.
Okay.
Oh no, it's not going to be cats. No, it's going to be rhinos.
Oh, that's even better.
I like rhinos. I think she's going to have a heck of a time bringing one of those home. I think there's laws against that.
Where are you going to put it? For it, right?
No.
I mean, I live in the middle of a city, so yeah.
So yeah, you've got a yard for it.
Totally. Our yard is about the size of a rhino. Okay, yeah, no, I'm going to have a rhino named Porridge in my yard when I come home.
That's beautiful. I remember that story.
Yep. No, I guess we're going to have a really well-fertilized lawn, though, with all that rhino dropping.
Okay.
You might have a rhino-sickle when it comes to winter.
Yeah, that's the other thing I'm worried about. Living in New England, I don't want that rhino to be... Oh, no, that rhino's going to end up inside. Yeah. We don't have room for that rhino. No. None of our rooms are rhino-sized.
All right, so...
Maybe we'll just bring it to a horse stable. It's just a really fat horse, I promise.
No. It's a unicorn.
It is a unicorn.
That's what it is.
It is, in fact, a unicorn.
It's a unicorn.
Yep. No, it's just a really fat unicorn. Why has it got horns? Duh, unicorn.
Hello.
Haven't you ever seen one?
Yeah.
That looks a lot like a rhino. No, look, turn it around. It's got unicorn painted on the side. Yeah. It's clearly a unicorn. It's marked unicorn.
It's like scrawled on with red spray paint.
Yep. Of course, non-toxic, biodegradable, because
obviously.
we don't want to hurt the animal.
No. That's what happened to that one tiger in, I believe, Beastmaster. Yeah. The movie Beastmaster, the character had his thing was that he had a whole bunch of animal sidekicks. He had a falcon, he had a couple of ferrets, and he had a big black tiger. But the tiger was covered in paint, and it died.
Aww, that's sad.
Yeah, a lot of old movies have not so great policies with handling animals.
I've been corrected. We're not putting the rhino in the stables. He's family. He stays in the house.
Oh, nice. He has to. I imagine he's going to be sleeping on the bed with you too.
I think he would break the floors and the bed
and you
and me. Yep.
But he loves you.
I know. He just wants to snuggle. But oh my.
It's like the equivalent of having Snorlax sleep on you.
Except Snorlax is nice and squishy. Rhinos are hard and armor-plated.
You hug his face. You give scritches behind the ears.
Sometimes he doesn't see you because rhinos are terribly blind.
Kinda, yeah. And then he gets scared and tries to charge you.
It does. Luckily, he won't have the room because our apartment is tiny. Yeah. Yeah. Rhyhorn does learn Stomp, though.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I
Yeah.
remember that. Oh, jeez.
Wow, somebody's yawny.
I need a nap.
It's 9 o'clock at night.
So I need to go to bed.
Yeah. Or you can nap. I mean, it's your choice.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah. or do that. That's cool, too.
Speaking of the sleepings, I was talking to you earlier about, like, what kind of things do you dream about?
You don't want to open that door.
Let's see.
Have you ever had a dream have you ever dreamed about any of your nerdy exploits?
Yeah. I once dreamed I was, like, in a card shop and I opened up all these amazing cards and I was so happy, and then I woke up, I was like, but the cards! I had everything that I wanted and it was shiny and great. And then I got really upset because I woke up.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
It was a sad dream. I was really happy when I was sleeping, though.
Yeah.
And then I once had, like, a dream where it was, like, a tournament, like, sort of like Tekken almost, but, like, not. And it was like fantasy steampunk fighters fighting each other. And it was really cool. And like made no sense, but totally would have making a great game. But I mean, it was a dream. And yeah, it was upsetting because I didn't get to finish the game that I was actually living. I was like one of the fighters. It's pretty cool times. But like I can lucid dream.
Yes, he can.
I can change up my dreams while I'm dreaming because I know I'm dreaming. And it's great because, like, this dream is getting scary. No, it's not. And actually, they say that gamers, people who play a lot of games, are more often than not lucid dreamers.
Yeah.
Because they're used to that sort of thing, I guess. I don't know.
They're used to, like, developing control over a thing that I guess is separate from them. Or whatever.
Well, if you think about it, your dreams are your own RPG.
They can be. We still don't really know what dreams mean.
Yeah, it's the only part of science we don't know.
Yeah, it's yeah. Well, it's hard to like really pin down because you can't exactly ask people while they're dreaming what they're dreaming of.
Like,
so
because like the dream I had last night was very clearly like some kind of not Wii shovelware, but it was like PS2 shovelware game.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, it was. I think it was supposed to be some kind of Goosebumps game or something because there was like weird amounts of horror that was stupidly unfair.
Huh. Weird.
I mean, it sounds like a shovelware game.
Yeah.
It's better than the other dreams that other people have, like teeth falling out or falling forever.
Yeah, I mean, those are, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I've had those too. But,
you know, I've never had this teeth dream that you all seem to think like is a common thing.
What, the one where your teeth fall out?
Never had it.
Well, it's...
I've had it.
Well, dreams like that, they're supposed to quote unquote mean something.
Dreams mean exactly whatever you want them to mean.
Like,
and it's usually a crock of nothing.
Like, usually, like, I believe the thing for teeth falling out is a fear of failure or whatever, and it gets specific depending on which teeth fall out.
That's such malarkey.
Yeah,
and feel of falling is basically not living up to your expectations.
Yeah. What the heck was I dreaming about at age 3 to give me a dream like that? What was I so afraid of living
nothing,
up to?
And that's the point. Dreams mean literally nothing.
Probably you were so excited about school.
Yeah, like what, preschool?
Yeah.
Oh no, I might talk to Billy today. Oh, I don't know if I can live up to this challenge.
I got sent to the principal's office quite a bit in preschool.
I didn't know you could do that in preschool.
I apparently it's a thing.
It depends on the preschool.
Yeah.
I guess.
If it's a private preschool, it's like, there's a principal.
I got sent there because I wasn't done with recess because I stayed out longer than everyone else.
No, I'm staying in recess, but we're moving inside. No,
I'm out here. I'm not done climbing on the playhouse.
Yeah, sorry, not happening. Yeah, well, I mean, you try telling a 3-year-old to not have fun.
It's not going to happen.
No,
you try to reason with a 3-year-old about anything.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
They don't have logic yet.
No, it's
Like-
even worse when it's the terrible twos.
They barely even have object permanence.
Yeah, it's true. It's really, really true. Yeah. I mean, I guess they could throw a cover over the jungle gym and like, where'd the climbing thing go? It disappeared. Oh. Maybe it would work.
Maybe
Or after they get everybody inside, they just pull up curtains and like, the outside's gone.
outside's gone. I don't think it works quite like that.
You never
Who
know.
knows?
It's fair enough.
You might trick all the dumb ones.
And then you'll be like, yeah,
Your kid's kind of special, ma'am.
I don't think Susie's gonna be a rocket scientist.
She believed the outside disappeared.
Yep.
All the other kids seemed to understand that we were just closing the curtains. Not Susie.
She started panicking that we were in space.
Yep. I didn't even tell them about space. I don't know where she learned it.
I think it was that Alien movie that she saw.
Yeah, Alien. Yeah. Totally a kid's film.
Well, this is interesting. I just found, I believe, a semi-accurate thing on what exactly girding your loins entails.
Oh?
It's referring to a way to, I guess, hike up your skirt and like tie it around your legs so you can draw your weapon and fight.
Hey, I mean, that sounds like a useful skill. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, this is back when people of all genders wore robe-like things.
Yeah.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
So girding the loins involves tying that up in a way that forms shorts.
You know what? Very useful skill to have.
Yeah, it's quite a detailed guide.
Hey, I mean, I totally would read that. Probably. Oh? That's a heck of a sigh you've got there, Orange.
Are we just humming for no reason now?
Huh?
No. What to talk about, though?
Trade with me. Huh?
Don't go villager on me.
You don't have anything I want, and you don't even drop things when I kill you. How useless? What's even the point of you?
Oh, you mean-
Emeralds. Mostly.
unless you have a nitwit.
Well, then you just drop them into lava. Actually, in one of the Minecraft server multiplayers that I watch, in the Hermitcraft server, one of the hermits, Mumbo, he built a villager disposal room. So he's got a villager breeder and a villager trading center, and if they're not good enough, he sends them to the villager killing chamber. And there's like 5 or 6 different ways he can kill them. One is TNT, one is lava, one is suffocation. He's got a zombie in one that kills them for him.
Jesus.
It's hilarious because the villager, just because.
It's better than the
That is a
Vindicator
sick
route.
main.
Oh yeah, you could throw a Vindicator in there and then they kill him with an axe. But I mean, they're villagers. Villagers aren't people. Clearly, because they don't look like any other person. Even Steve, like you would expect. Unless Steve is just abnormal, in which case, oh my god.
Like, that's why he's wandering about and destroying everything, because he's a mutant.
He's got the power to do so. Orange, come look at this. This is just something that we were watching a stream earlier with 2 more of the people that I watch, Tango Tech and
They
Sedaf.
got messy.
And they were doing a stream where they were doing the Wheel of Misfortune, which
Yeah.
and they got real messy.
Yeah.
They are covered head to toe in pie. I think that's pie.
You think or you know?
It looks pretty pie-like, considering all the pie crust on the floor.
Lemon meringue looks like it.
No, that's pumpkin and chocolate, at least. Whew. But speaking of Twitter, shameless plug time. If you follow me at DJ Frost WLMC, like, I'll love you because I have a lot of love to give around for people who like my social media and stuff. And that it's cool because like I post stuff sometimes and it's awesome.
Sometimes, but not all times.
Actually, the one who retweeted that that picture was his wife. Tango Tech's wife posted the picture. That's great.
Speaking of things that I think might be pie,
Oh,
like there's like how many am I looking at? There's like 6, 12, like a double digit number on variety of Kit Kats that exist in Japan.
Japanese Kit Kats are the bomb. They've got cherry blossom flavor, sake flavor,
What do cherry blossoms taste like?
floral.
Floral.
They're delicious.
They also have green tea.
Green
Green tea Kit Kat.
Yeah.
Don't knock until you try it.
I've been told by my wife I'm not allowed to give you all loves, only her. So I will give you all of the likes that I have to give.
Likes.
But all the loves are reserved for my wife. Sorry.
Yeah.
I hate to renege on my promises there.
Yeah. I mean, I hate that I can't read most of these, but it's just like
Oh, because of content or what?
no, because I can't read Japanese that well.
Oh, yeah. They have some really, really cool flavors. They've got green tea flavor, as I said, sake, cherry blossom.
I would try sake.
It apparently tastes really good. You know what?
There's a few other ones like
There's cheesecake.
Yeah, there is cheesecake flavored.
I only know that because of the picture on the front of the package.
I think there's something sushi flavored.
Baked
Ew.
potato, soy sauce, fruit parfait,
Parfait is nice. Parfaits are
soybean,
delicious.
blueberry cheesecake, brandy and orange, azuki beans, which are the red beans that you find in red bean paste. Oh my god, they look so good.
No.
You can actually order them offline.
Because I'll tell you right now, I've eaten a flower before because it was a garnish and I didn't understand what a garnish was at the time.
There are edible flowers which you are intended to eat, like squash blossoms and
Yeah, it had an interesting texture that I kind of enjoyed.
Yeah.
But the flavor was left a lot to be desired.
you know the best way to eat edible flowers?
What?
Bacon.
Just
Add
put,
bacon.
Just put them on bacon. But then you don't even taste the flour. It's just the bacon.
No, you can taste the flour a little bit, but mostly bacon.
That's fair enough.
Cherry blossoms are edible.
They are. Although it's usually cherry blossom water, they don't actually. Although in some recipes they do actually put the cherry blossom petals, so it's a very seasonal type flavor because you can only get them in spring when the cherry blossoms bloom. So, yeah, but yeah, that's why they usually put it in water and try to make a liqueur or some sort of flavorant out of them, so that you can have them year round and stuff. But yeah, no. I think I want to go and get some Japanese Kit Kats because they sound really, really good.
Yeah.
It's better than their ice cream.
From
Yeah.
the convention that I went to earlier this week.
Oh, yeah. You have to tell us about another anime convention that you went to in New Hampshire.
I didn't get to go to the last day because things came up, but
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
but the first day was all right. I tried out a new costume. It wasn't of any specific character, but I had worked real hard to put it together. Darn it! So I was going to wear it.
And it looked good?
It looked amazing.
Well, then that's
I was
important.
so kawaii.
Oh, good.
It kind of accidentally became a steampunk magical girl, and I didn't mean it to.
But you know what? Steampunk Magical Girl sounds pretty awesome.
It felt pretty great.
Yeah,
And then
can't go
the
wrong
next
with steampunk.
And then there were a lot of great costumes about. I saw a really cool Maui cosplayer from Moana.
Oh, really? That's so cool.
He doubled as regular Maui, and he also did Sharkhead Maui. That he just kind of switched in and out of.
That's so great.
It was amazing.
Did he have the fins too?
Yes, he had the fins.
That's so great.
And then the next day he was Gaston. No one cosplays like Gaston.
Except for Gaston.
Let's see, there was a Guts cosplayer from Berserk. That was amazing. There were a lot of wrestling cosplays. Wrestling.
That surprises me.
Yeah, I believe I've only ever seen like one at most at a convention, but there were like 3 or 4 different ones.
Really odd. I know it when I went to Rhode Island Comic Con, they had a lot of pro wrestlers there, and like people, I didn't see a lot of cosplay of them, but people were going up to getting signed stuff from them.
Yeah.
But like I've never considered pro wrestling part of nerddom. That's like its own thing.
I mean, it kind of is
Kinda.
in that it's like live action anime that's been running for some 40, 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
So that's how it's been described to me. If you look at it from the point of view of like good guys, bad guys, plot lines, and epic feats.
But you can
of
say that
strength.
about a bunch of different shows. It's like a really, like, it's kind of like a B TV show almost in a way.
Kinda, yeah. But like there was a Kevin Owens, there was Stone Cold Steve Austin, there was CM Punk. Those are just the ones that I know for certain were there. I wonder if they were. The thing that I found really interesting though is that they all had their own belt. They all had belts. They were all champion belts.
I'm sure Bearman would have loved it. Unfortunately, he was stuck hibernating this weekend.
Yeah, I was able to get CM Punk to do a promo for him. So,
that's awesome.
So that was cool.
That is so cool. I'm sure he was super stoked about that.
He was. Let's see, what other cosplays were super interesting? Ooh, there was a Jack Skellington cosplayer.
Interesting.
Femme Jack Skellington, and she had her dog, who was cosplaying Zero.
So she crossplayed with the dog.
Yes,
that's awesome.
And they were like outside doing their own thing. There were a lot of Overwatch cosplays.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
fair amount of there were Mercies. There was a Reinhardt, full armor Reinhardt.
Wow.
And
people go all out.
Yeah, they do.
They go out with full mercy too.
Yeah, the Mercies were pretty impressive.
Did you see any really, really bad ones?
I didn't really see anything awful this time. But
like when I'm talking awful, I mean like people who easily weigh like 600 pounds wearing nothing but a crop top.
Nah.
Okay,
nothing outrageously stupid.
Yeah, no Jersey Shore level. So by the way, if you go to the Jersey Shore, you will see people who have no business not wearing clothes.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to, so nothing really egregiously like inappropriate.
No. Like I fully believe that cosplaying, that the whole idea that you should cosplay to your body type is nonsense.
No, it's nonsense. But there's a difference between cosplaying and showing off your bits.
Yeah, and they've been cracking down on that at this particular convention. Good. And due to amounts of behavioral issues, I will say, the yearly rave that they usually had.
Yeah.
And when I say rave,
it's just a dance party.
It's just a dance party in a dark room, and glow sticks happen to be involved.
I mean, yeah.
Till 1 o'clock in the morning.
And it does run late, yeah, but there's literally nothing sketchy about it whatsoever.
Yeah.
But the thing is, people were making it sketchy, and it didn't have to be. So they decided there's not going to be any rave at all anymore.
See, just a few people ruin it for everybody else. That's not cool.
Yeah. That's a thing. Yeah. Like I got some more manga that I had been meaning to pick up.
Nice.
I got another couple copies of One Punch Man.
Nice. I have that entire series.
Issues of One Punch Man. Yeah. Volumes, issues.
Copies is okay too. I mean, issues is kind of not correct because it's not a
comic book.
I used to subscribe to Shonen Jump, Sumi.
Right, that is the magazine.
That's the magazine.
I still have all those piles of things, and I really shouldn't have them anymore. After a certain point, I just got them for the cards for the Yu-Gi-Oh cards that were occasionally in the back. That's how I got my first blue. That's how I got my Blue Eyes Ultimate.
Oh, okay.
So, but there was, and I also got a couple more volumes of Berserk. So that was cool, because finding copies of Berserk in any store is difficult.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have trouble finding Berserk.
Well, I mean, I haven't really found it. I've been to some Barnes and Nobles. They're not there.
No,
I can't find them at Bull Moose. I can't find them.
Really? That's where I find them. I never have a problem.
No, they're just not there.
Interesting. I mean, did you ask?
Well, I had. They're like not on the shelves. They didn't have any in stock.
Yeah, I mean, the wonderful thing about the Bull Moose is you can order them and they'll get them really.
Yeah, but nice, see, the thing is, when it comes to most things, especially books, I'd rather have them in I'd rather be able
hand?
to, yes. I'd rather have them in my hand very quickly.
Yeah, I'm a bit patient because I want to have a good quality copy. So if there's like a bad quality, like if there's rips in it, it's not their fault necessarily. Like it's just it was shipped bad. Yeah. I'm not gonna buy it.
But like part of the thing is when I like buying something online directly from a site is that seems like a more sketchy option to me because damage can happen and I don't want it to. So that's why I'd rather get it myself and personally assure that damage does not occur to this book. And if it does, then it's on me.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
I also got to try I sampled a good number of those sodas that we had talked about.
Ramenes. Yes. Ramune, for those of you who know, is a Japanese soda where there's a marble in the top and there's a little plastic thing that comes on it and you pop the marble and it goes down and it lets you drink the soda.
Yeah.
And they're delicious and they come in amazing flavors. And like, I had a teriyaki one and it was great. And they've got they're so sweet though. They are just so sweet.
See, because I got like 4 of them because they were $2 a pop. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
And
because they're imported, they tend to be pricey.
Yeah, so I only got 4. 2 of which were blue, but were different flavors of blue.
Yep, blue.
And I taste tested all of them with Bearman.
Oh, yeah.
And like the cherry one tasted very much like cough syrup. Because everything cherry flavor kind of tastes like cough syrup.
Well, that's because cough syrup tastes like cherry.
So
that or grape.
Yeah, the grape is almost worse.
No, I would prefer grape. I always liked the grape cough syrup better as a kid.
I see how it is. You were drinking all that cough syrup.
Yeah, I'm that kind of delinquent. But it was, and Bearman liked the orange flavor the best.
Did you get the original at all?
No, there were like 20 different options there.
Well, the original ramen is kind of like lemon lime flavored, and it's really good. It's not overly sweet, and talking about it makes me want some.
Honestly, a lot of these didn't seem sweet enough.
Interesting.
But that was probably, and I reasoned that was because Japan doesn't drown things in sugar quite as much as the U.S. does.
No, they definitely don't.
No.
And they use real sugar as opposed to high fructose that we use in this country.
Yeah.
Did you buy any Pocky there?
Oh, of course I did.
How many different flavors?
Just the one. I like strawberry best. I had spent a bunch of money on manga. And the soda.
But like Pocky, like the reason you go to cons and you get Pocky is because they have all the flavors.
Yeah, but I like strawberry best.
That's fair. I mean, I always try different flavors there. They always have, I like the panda flavor. It's not actually panda flavored. It's cookies and cream.
I was about to say.
It's got pandas on it, and they call it panda, but it's really cookies and cream.
Okay.
I like that one.
I didn't know that was, nobody had informed me that was a thing.
Oh, yeah. Cookies and cream Pocky.
There's many things. It's like the Kit Kats. It's like Pocky has the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And they have like almond crunch. They've got like chocolate ones with chocolate biscuits.
I wonder if it has chocolate.
I would hazard. They've got tropical flavor. It's got like a...
That sounds like a chocolate overload.
Yeah, it probably is.
Oh, yeah. The thing that I really had wanted to... geez, my computer froze. But the thing that I had really... The one soda that we both agreed on was really kind of gross was one of the blue ones. I believe it was called Hawaiian Breeze. And I believe... The reason we determined that it was kind of gross was that it slightly tasted like actual seawater, which I mean would follow if it's Hawaiian, but I don't think I need to taste salt water in my soda.
No, I mean most soda does have quite a bit of salt in it, so it doesn't surprise me necessarily.
Yeah. It's like the sea salt ice cream.
Well,
yeah, but that's on purpose.
Yeah, they're trying to taste like salty.
I don't like sea salt ice cream. It's usually caramel sea salt because you get the super sweet and the super salty, and not good things in my mouth.
I still want to try it though. Kingdom Hearts 2 has ruined me. I want to try it at least once before I die.
What?
sea salt ice cream.
I mean, it's pretty good, but again, I don't like it because of how sweet and salty it is.
Well, that's why.
I know that's why it. Yeah, no, I mean, definitely try it.
Yeah, but
I'm not telling you not to. It's just not to my personal taste. That's all.
But I can confirm, as somebody who has this year had seawater in their mouth at some point, it did in fact taste kind of like seawater.
I mean, I'm sure we've all had seawater in our mouth at some point.
Yeah, anytime you go to the beach.
Anytime you go in the ocean, yep.
Yeah.
It's kind of unavoidable. Basically, yeah.
But the other blue was just it wasn't blue raspberry, it was just blueberry, which was weird to us because you don't get blueberry soda in the States.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. There is a soda
I have only ever seen blue raspberry.
There is a blueberry soda out of Maine. I think it's Eli's is the company name.
Well, that would explain it. I live in
Captain
the
Eli's.
I live in the Midwest.
Yeah, it's
so.
Captain Eli's. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I love this soda.
There's a good soda. It's a shame I don't drink soda anymore.
They're out of Portland. Captain Eli's is out of Portland.
Yeah, I think. No,
it is. That's what it says on the boxes.
Does it? Well, I'll tell you in a second. I know this is totally like nerdy and stuff.
We're talking about Japanese food and products.
Yeah. Let's see. It is made in Maine. That's all it says. They might have a distribution in Portland, but yeah. But it's really, really cool. And they've got all kinds of really cool flavors.
I like the root beer.
They have good root beer.
Yeah. Also, a cool thing that they had at the con was they had a stand where you could buy big mugs. Big honking mugs.
And then fill them with root beer?
Not just root beer. They
cream
had
soda.
Cream soda, like you pull a spout on a keg and it comes out at the side of the thing. And your first drink is free if you buy the mug.
How much was the mug though?
The mug was like $18.
See, that's pretty low. There was the same thing at Rhode Island Comic Con, and it was like $30 for the mug. But unlimited refills.
There weren't unlimited refills on these. It would be like your first one is free, and then after that it's $5 a drink.
That's still overpriced as crap.
Well, which is why you only get the one drink.
Yeah. Were they the metal mugs too?
Yeah, they were metal. It was metal, and Bearman has a thing for big mugs.
I mean, big mugs are fantastic.
They're amazing to have.
I know they are.
It's like when I was at a concert over the summer and they had Bayou Billy's sweet tea.
Bayou Billy.
Bayou Billy's. That sounds like a Southern company that would make sweet tea. Oh, yeah.
But it was reasonable price. It's like
I'm sure
you get a big mug and then you get like $2 a refill.
That's not bad. I mean, it really isn't.
Yeah, so convention was cool. Convention was fun. Lots of interesting costumes.
Yes. Yeah. Any cool dealers or Artist Alley stuff?
There was the usual batch of dealers dealing out like commission works.
Yeah.
So in the alley.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
A friend of mine got a commission of his persona. That was cool.
Interesting.
And there was a fair amount of dealers that had handmade things, be it jewelry. There was one stand that was doing cupcakes.
That's so cool.
I know. I wish I had gotten some, but I was trying to watch my money at that point.
That old struggle. You go in day one and you're like, I'm going to budget. And then you don't. And then you're like, crap, I've only got like $100 for the rest of the 2 days.
And now I'm sad.
And now I'm sad.
Because so I did not get any cupcakes, but they were like themed cupcakes for various anime titles and stuff.
That's so cool. I want that.
I should, at the very least, I should have gotten their card.
Yeah.
But I will. Then there was also a stand for just one kind of soda. I guess they're trying to make a new brand of soda. Huh. It was like nuclear cherry or something like that.
Sounds like cough syrup.
It tasted like cough syrup.
Ooh. Were they giving out free samples? Like, try our soda.
Yeah, they were giving out free samples. Although I'm pretty sure the sample that I got was flat. So,
yeah.
Flat cough syrup.
Yeah, flat cough syrup is the worst.
That is so bad. Well, cough syrup is always flat.
But no, like actually had fizz and then flat.
Yeah, like it had been fizzy at one point.
Ew.
It's like adding carbonated soda water to cough syrup. Not a good mix.
Huh.
Okay, and
That's just too bad.
what else was interesting? The weapons dealers were there. There were weapons dealers with like actual katanas.
So
and,
live steel?
yeah, live steel, and also not live steel, and also not steel at all.
Oh.
Like those big like practice swords that are like made of the thick plastic and are for, I guess, like
PVC piping.
no, not PVC pipe, but they're like the big black swords.
Oh, those, you mean the, wow, Boken.
Yes. Well,
They're
no,
not made out of plastic. They're supposed to be made out of wood.
No, not the, which is why they're not Boken, because they were not made of wood.
What were? That's weird.
They were just thick
plastic swords.
They were plastic, but it was like thick plastic.
Oh, was that rubberized plastic?
Yes.
Oh, those are like practice swords.
Yes.
That's just what they are.
Like just straight up practice swords. There was like they had katanas and sabers and
Sure.
nunchucks and Wolverine claws.
They probably had some shinai, which are the bamboo swords. I'd be surprised if they didn't.
I don't know. I didn't look too hard at them because I couldn't buy anything from them anyway. Because A, expensive, and B, can't transport it anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, they take exception to that. But I love going to cons. Did you go to any cool panels? Do they have any panels or anything?
There were plenty of panels, but I didn't get time to go to a lot of them.
Why not?
Because hanging out with friends. It was the main reason why I was going, was so I could hang out with these friends that I hadn't seen in a long time.
Fair enough. It's just sad to not be able to like.
Yeah, and I mean,
go to the panels.
And I mean, some of the reasons there were like, I definitely have a lot of regrets about not being able to panel because there were a lot of things I did want to go to. It wasn't really topic wise; it was more like game show type things.
Yeah, I love the like little game shows they put on. Demonstrations of board games and RPGs. Those are always really fun.
Cosplay chess.
Cosplay chess is a staple at most cons.
Yeah, that was there. I think they didn't call it cosplay chess; they called it deathmatch.
No, cosplay deathmatch is another thing they tend to do.
Yeah.
There's a cosplay court case at my local con.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, did I tell you
Phoenix
guys?
Wright.
No, the cosplay court case is just total garbage. They just do it every year because like the same people love doing it. But like, it's just such garbage. It's amazing. But it's like so bad it's kind of good. But like you don't feel bad walking out of it if you need to walk out to go to something else. So I think I might have mentioned this, but wasn't last weekend, but it was the weekend before when I went home for a visit. I was in a parking lot, and we happened to see the local con's PR guy, who also works for one of our favorite stores. And we just passed him. We don't know him like personally, but we like know of him and have seen him around, things like that.
Yeah.
And we didn't think anything of it. We went in. And later that night, one of our friends texted us like, "Oh my God, you guys are on Instagram." I'm like, what? And like she sends it to us, and it's my car. The back of my car is on the Instagram and on their Twitter, and my license plate is simply LV space anime, because I love anime, and that is my car. And it's got a fairy tale emblem and a Hyrule crest on the back as well, as well as a coexist sticker that is made up of like gaming stuff.
Nice. You have to tell me where you got.
I don't even know where I got that at this point.
You disappoint me.
It came in like a box, like one of the loot box, but it wasn't Loot Crate, so I don't know where it came from, to be honest. But anyway, and we're like, oh my God, and it's got like 80 something likes, and this is huge because this con isn't that big. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like famous for 5 minutes. Yay! And then our friend comments like, oh my God, this is my friend, and like they're awesome, and yeah. I tell you what my buddy's car says, but it's not family friendly. Yeah. It's love adult anime. But the word for that.
Oh, I just remembered another cosplay that was there that I think you would have been super into. There was a lot of Skyward Sword cosplay. And one person was just straight up a Zora. Skyward Sword Zora.
Really?
Yeah, like they had constructed.
Skyward Sword didn't have Zoras?
You mean Breath of the
No,
Wild?
yeah,
Breath of the
I meant
Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
I'm
darn
like,
it.
that's what the races are.
Yeah. Well, Skyward Sword had some of them too, but like no Zoras to my knowledge.
No, like,
No.
Okay, so I screwed up.
No, no.
But lots of Breath of
like,
the Wild cosplay.
Straight up, that's really
Straight up Zora,
impressive.
like,
Yeah,
they
that's been happening a
constructed
lot.
They constructed a fairly elaborate headpiece
It's insane.
with the tail coming off of the back and
of
the
course,
fins.
yeah.
And it was bright red.
Oh, so were they doing Mifa?
I don't know this character, but I know there is one bright red Zora.
Was he smiling a lot?
Was it a he or a she?
I couldn't really tell. I mostly saw them from behind.
Oh, were they carrying a trident?
I don't remember.
Then it might have been the brother.
Yeah. Mr.
But yeah.
Smile himself.
Yeah. So Mifa is one of the four
Champions.
Four champions. Yep. And her brother is
The prince?
Yes, the prince. Well, because she was the But there's also the King Zora actually. So you know how King Zora in Ocarina of Time was huge,
Yeah.
like big. King Zora in Breath of the Wild is 3 or 4 times the size of that.
Isn't he a blue whale?
He's like a whale. Yeah. I think isn't he red though?
No, he's a blue.
No, yeah.
It looks like a blue whale.
Yeah, King Zora. I'm just looking it up to make sure I'm not going crazy.
Yeah, he was a giant fish.
Yeah, well, they're always giant fish. That's the point. But yeah, no, he's huge.
Yeah, that's been happening a lot throughout the cons. The oldest thing, the Breath of the Wild cosplay has gone mental.
It's amazing. Yeah, no, he is kind of whale-like. Yeah, he is blue, but he's huge. Yeah. Oh, I love it. And actually, all the Zora are big. Sidon, that's the guy. That's the prince's name. Sidon. Here, come take a look at this picture real quick, Scuddy. Maybe you can identify if it's Sidon or not. This is Sidon.
Yep, that's him.
Yep. So somebody's doing Sidon. That is crazy. Oh my god, that is insane. I wish I had seen that.
It was pretty great. And also, as every convention does, they had their fair share of homestucks, but and they
we let them do their own thing in the corner so long as they don't bother anybody else.
But they had an entire table of Faygo out in the front.
Faygo?
Apparently that's their drink.
Sure.
I don't get it, but they just had an entire thing of Faygo for some reason. Specifically Faygo.
Sure.
It wasn't even in the dealer's room, it was just outside the dealer's room.
Maybe they couldn't find anywhere else. Huh.
But yeah, so super impressive Zora cosplay was super impressive.
Well, it is the prince.
I mean, that must have been hours and hours and hours and hours of preparation for that.
Oh yeah, just for the headpiece alone.
No, yeah, I mean, the rest is probably body paint or a bodysuit, and
Yeah, I think it might have been a suit.
I wouldn't want to paint myself head to toe because Zoras don't wear that much clothing.
No,
so
they do
probably
not.
A suit.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
there was definitely a suit.
So that's still really impressive.
Yeah, because the con had like stringent code,
good. So
like dress code type things going on.
So you mean a bra and panties is not a cosplay?
Yes.
Oh, good. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. It's like, look, we get you want to cosplay, and we get that a lot of anime characters are really scantily clad. Well, you can also do the version of them that isn't scantily clad, and still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
if it's pictures you want, they'll still get pictures of you.
Yeah, and then like a lot of times they'll complain too, like, "Oh my god, I keep getting looked at," and it's like,
because you're barely wearing anything.
Also, like, nobody does that, and they don't do it for attention. I'm not saying like it's wrong. I mean, that it's not wrong for people to like look offensively. But, like, I don't think a lot of people at cons, especially because, you know, we nerds are not exactly the most socially adept people.
Yeah, there were also, like, several signs put up about so the cosplay is not consent.
Right,
thing.
and that is very key. And I think I always say this every time we talk about cosplaying.
Actually, that's one of the things that was in the news recently was
cosplay is not consent. It really isn't. Cosplay is an art form, it's an expression, and it's a wonderful thing. And I love doing it. But it's not consent.
Nah.
No. And there's no reason for you to disrespect people. It's just,
It's pretty bad.
I mean, it's gotten better because a lot of people they're keying into it. They're like, a lot of staff are now better trained at cons to deal with it and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know my local con has a 0 tolerance policy. If it's even close to harassment, like they sit you down and say, if we get a complaint about you again, you're done. You're out and don't ever come back. And that happened a few times. People were kicked out.
Well, good.
And, there's one famous guy like who would always come. He was like some 40-year-old who would always dress in like a full bodysuit so you couldn't see what he looked like and would just dance around and be really, really creepy and like hit on younger girls. And he was asked to leave and never returned.
No.
Yeah, that happened.
No.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
No, obviously not. And that's why he was gone. He was but he's still a legend around the con.
I believe it.
For people who've been there forever and ever.
Yeah.
But like it's every year I'm just astonished at like how good some of the cosplays are.
Except we cannot compete with Japan.
No, we really can't beat Japan.
No.
There's just no way to. It just can't happen.
Japan has their standards, and we have.
Like even our pro cosplayers don't hold a candle to some of their amateur cosplayers. Like
in Japan,
yeah,
it's like
we just don't even hold a candle close enough to them.
See, when you start saying things like that, it makes me start thinking, why bother?
Because it's fun and because it's self-expression and because who cares what Japan does?
And
they're just like way better than us at like everything anime anyway.
Yes, and they hire fancy like Photoshop crews and all that stuff to put in magic.
They also have cosplay shops in Japan where you can get
okay, that's
stuff.
just straight cheating.
I mean, it's not like you go in and buy a cosplay. You go in and you can commission stuff. You can have professional props made, things of that nature. Where we in the States actually have to
make it.
Yeah. And as one of our viewers points out, like there are definitely character types that Americans pull off better. And I will agree to that. There are certain characters who, because of whatever reason, we can pull it off better as Americans than Japanese can. But the majority, it's unfair because they've got all the resources that we don't have. But at the same time, like when somebody makes an amazing cosplay here, they put in that time and that effort, and they deserve all the praise they're getting.
Yeah, like a Mercy that actually has the wings actually working.
I know, right? That thing's just nuts. Like, I will see pictures of cosplayers, and I'm like, holy moly, that's phenomenal. Like, I don't know how you did that, and I'm super jealous. Then I go, like, I can never do anything that good, but I'm going to try, darn it.
I'm actually, like, I had to borrow a lot of elements for a Catwoman cosplay.
Oh?
But I do have a couple of pictures. A friend of mine who was going there was a Harley, and we happened to meet a Poison Ivy there, so we were able to do a Gotham Sirens bit.
Ooh. Yeah, I love when people find each other and go, oh my god, let's take pictures together, and then it becomes awesome. Because everybody's into it and everybody's having fun. Yeah. And that's my favorite part of cosplay. Is really, finding other people and like having fun. So one year my wife and I cosplayed Alzak and Biska from Fairy Tail. They're like the most canon couple that ever has been canonized together because they're like...
Yeah, they got a daughter.
Yeah, they have a daughter. But they're like super canon and they've always been like the couple. So we did that and we ran into other people who do Fairy Tail cosplays and like getting pictures with each other. Like, yeah.
Well, yeah, there were like huge cosplay groups out on the front lawn of the place doing exactly that.
And that's part of the fun of it.
Yeah, like this is the steampunk magical girl that ended up happening.
That's awesome.
And
I mean, I know you guys can't see it, but it's really awesome. Maybe Scuddy will post it to the DJ Frost page later.
Since the first day of the con was on Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah, there's probably
there was a significant amount of Jason
horror.
cosplayers.
That's so cool.
Of various varieties, too. There was Sackhead Jason. There was a regular Jason. There was even an NES Jason.
Wow.
with the purple suit and the blue mask. It was nice. And he was carrying an NES.
That's amazing.
With a knife through it?
Well, no.
No, just carrying it. I wouldn't destroy an NES for that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No, you put a fake knife through it.
And Catwoman is Durr.
Ah, nice.
With the Gotham Sirens.
Awesome.
So that was neat.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's about that time to wrap up. I know how sad, right?
Yeah.
It's never long enough.
No.
But, as always, any final thoughts? Scuddy, go.
I like dressing up as things, and I can't wait for Halloween to do it again.
Awesome. Orange. I guess he's gone full villager. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. This has been Talking Nerdy, that nerdy talk show where I asked my guests to talk nerdy to me. And boy, did we talk some real nerd.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It was so nerdy in this basement for the past 2 hours. We really appreciate you all listening in. We hope you join us next week. And again, enjoy your night. And again, see you next week. Same time on YouTube or the stream that is less used. Anyway, have a great night.